Let's now get a broader perspective on the impact of the Buhari administration in the judiciary sector. And I'm now being joined live from our Abuja studios by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Professor Epiphany Azinge. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining me on the News at 10 at this time. 3 years of the Buhari administration. How would you assess its performance in the judiciary sector?
Well, we have listened attentively to the report of Shola, and I think to a very large extent she seemed to have captured most of the achievements. And of course the follow-up interview also succinctly touched on some of the challenges that abound at this point in time. But we cannot say that it has not been too good. I can say with certainty that a lot of progress seemed to have been made. We didn't start very well, mark you. There was a little bit of intervention or intimidation, so to speak, that seemed to have rattled the judiciary. But from all indication, we have overcome that, and the judiciary has settled down and stabilized to a very great extent. Together with the other arms of government, we have seen the bills that are still pending. For me, there seems to be heightened integrity in the judicial system. We now see speedier dispensation of justice. And the commanding heights, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, seem to have also raised the bar to a very large extent. We are now talking about digitalized courtrooms, amongst other things, better capacity building of judges, and indeed, we can also talk about the appointment of judges in that regard. And we're seeing clearly better judgments in terms of quality that can stand the test of time anywhere in the world. And to that extent, we feel that we are on the right track at this point in time. It is not yet uhuru, because of course we've listened attentively. The major impediment, which is a big challenge, is the issue of dispensation of justice. It is unacceptable to a very large extent that an arm of the government can give a ruling or decision or judgment, and that is not carried out by another arm of government. I don't think that sells us very well to the international community, and that certainly is something that we must address going forward.
But maybe to butt in here, if you will. This delays that we see of court cases has persisted over time. There has been attempts by both the executive and the judicial arms of government to fast-track that process. What should you recommend? What should be done to effectively deal with that particular challenge?
Well, basically, I am aware that there are so many presentations lying either at the presidency or the National Assembly for appointment of judges. Our judges are overworked, clearly overworked. So we need more hands to do this job. And of course, it cries for specialization of courts and a certain number of judges dedicated to particular cases, especially the anti-corruption cases. We have all other people, few in number, addressing other issues. We need judges, and I believe that this is an important time for us to call that some of those judges that are, or would-be judges that are screened and waiting for approval by the presidency should be approved, so that most of them will go back and sit down to do the job that only fewer numbers are doing at this point in time. For me, that is very, very fundamental as one of the reasons for delay. Like I said, judges are overworked, but again, we give credit to them. In terms of performance evaluation, the scorecard is quite impressive. And again, we believe that the National Judicial Council seems to be doing a yeoman's job in the sense that they've succeeded to a very large extent in sanitizing the judiciary. I believe that this is the most disciplined arm of government at this point in time, one that can embark on internal cleansing to make sure that discipline reigns supreme in that arm of government. So, to all intents and purposes, I believe that the judiciary has fared very well, partly because of the input of government, but basically and more fundamentally because of the role that the current commanding heights of that arm of government is playing in order to achieve that objective.
Professor Epiphany Azenge, a senior advocate of Nigeria, I must thank you so much indeed for talking to us on the News at 10.
Thank you very much for having me.